The idea of The idea of hating someone for the pigment of their skin is just as absurd as the concept of money. Say there's a gap in history from where we stand now and 3 centuries into the future. A plague attacks or some apocalypse occurs, and the only survivors are people who escaped underground. And their main source of currency is based on the bartering system. Someone from that era has found $1.25 hidden away in some mummified corpse's pocket. They could very well assume that the quarter held more value simply because it weighed more. The value is objective, and the same goes for the idea of a race being supreme. It has no real value, nor is based on any true facts. Like Albert Einstein had said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it is stupid. There is no superior race, but there certainly are marginalized ones. Today, my topic is critical race theory, or as I will refer, CRT, and the basis as to why it needs to be known as general knowledge. That was wrong too. Let's just pretend that is. At its most simplistic form, critical race theory, as per the Encyclopedia Britannica, is an intellectual social movement and a loosely organized framework of legal analysis based on the premise that race is not a natural, biologically grounded feature of physically distinct subgroups of humans, but rather a socially constructed category that is used to oppress and exploit people of color. Now what the hell does that mean, right? I like to explain CRT in caveman, just because it's more sufficient in translating to even the densest of audiences. Race not real. Me no different from you. Same blood, same desire for woman, same desire for banana. Race made to put cavemen down by greedy cavemen. Me like other cave people, even if they not cave kin. Greedy cavemen do not. Now, unfortunately, I've regained my ability to speak, so please refrain from all grunts and oohs until the end. Now I want to utilize Richard Delgado, professor of law at the Seattle University, with his credentials coming from UC Berkeley's School of Law, and his explanation of the originating reason for CRT. He describes it as originally developed as an academic field in the mid to late 70s when a host of lawyers and legal scholars across the country realized that the impressive gains of the 60s civil rights era had halted and were, in many cases, being rolled back. It sourced from the neglect and mistreatment of people of color. Thank God that only took place in that small blip of time, and we've never, ever, seen people be oppressed for the color of their skin. And I know that because I went to American public schools. That's what they teach. Critical race theory is not allowed to be taught to the majority. It is banned in every state but 7 as per the 2025 World Population Review. With this continuous ban has been the decline of connection and fueled tensions amongst Europeans and people of color due to its inherent segregation of them against us. Connie Morgan, a professor of education at the University of Southern Mississippi, or USM, in the Department of Curriculum, Instruction, and Special Education, refers to Hogley Brill in the article Resisting the Movement to Ban Critical Race Theory. I went too fast. Getting hot in here, guys, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. When explaining that CRT is controversial because it challenges the view that America is the land of the free. However, this theory is not anti-white theory, and it does not reject individual rights. Its proponents seek to explain how institutions continue to restrict the rights of racial minorities. This once again emphasizes that CRT does not mean the defamation of white America, but rather makes the observations of what the effects of its policies and practices are on us as people of color. But I say if the shoe fits, just wear it. Who set that system up? You guys. The idea of CRT is to teach newer and advancing generations of the importance of why race at its core, does not exist. It is quite literally a form of separation amongst a species that would progress more if we acknowledge the fact that we are one regardless of shade and ability to battle against sun waves. There is no black, white, Hispanic, Asian, etc. There are, however, cultural identities or ethnicities. These refer to language, the traditions, historical practices, food of certain groups originating from different areas in the world. These are our differences, but not our demise, our separation. The only harm we continuously do to ourselves as a race is the fact that we try to categorize ourselves in alignment with people who had no idea what they were talking about hundreds and hundreds of years ago. They thought they were worth more than those with physical differences, and they thought they were in the right because they couldn't understand the anguish of others because it wasn't in English. CRT doesn't want to contribute to the arrogance that this country thrives in, but rather contests it and shows people in the limited states where it is allowed to be taught formally that this idea of race is nothing but a ploy to divide and gain power over the masses. It is a tool of control and a calculated attack on those without Eurocentric features, not a biological matter. We as beings are the amalgamation of love, tradition, hardships, and burdens. These are inherently felt in all. My experiences in some shape, way, or form have been your experiences. It is only race that says they're different, that they do not hold the same weight or value, as if my dollar is incomparable to their quarter, despite us both being from the same currency system. That's what I think.